The champagne tasted like lies. Vivian White swirled the golden liquid in her crystal flute, the setting sun glinting off its surface, painting the cliffside villa in hues of blood and fire. The salty air whipped at her silk dress, a piece from her own award-winning collection. Everything was perfect. Too perfect.
To us, my love.
Julian White, her husband of 1 year, clinked his glass against hers. His smile was a masterpiece of deception.
To our forever.
Beside him, her adopted sister Amelia beamed, her hand resting innocently on Julian's arm.
To the best sister and brother-in-law in the world.
Vivian's head swam. The world was tilting on its axis, the sharp lines of the designer furniture blurring into soft, threatening shapes. It wasn't the champagne. She'd only had 1 sip.
I feel a little dizzy.
She murmured, setting her glass down. Her legs felt like lead weights, her body refusing to obey her commands. Julian's smile widened, but the warmth never reached his eyes.
They were cold, calculating chips of ice.
Just relax, Vivian. The drug will make this easier for everyone.
Drug. The word slammed into her foggy mind. Panic, cold and sharp, pierced through the haze.
Julian, what did you do?
She whispered, her voice a reedy thread of sound. Amelia laughed, a high, cruel sound that shattered the evening's peace. She stepped forward, her sweet facade melting away to reveal a venomous sneer. He did what was necessary, you naive fool. Did you really think he loved you?
A penniless orphan with a knack for sketching? Julian slid a thick stack of papers and a pen onto the table. The heading was stark. Copyright Transfer Agreement. Below it, the name of her life's work, her soul poured onto paper.
The Dark Swan Collection.
A portfolio worth billions.
Sign it.
Julian commanded, his voice devoid of any affection.
Your designs built my company. Now they will belong to me, legally.
Her heart shattered. Ethereal Designs wasn't his company. It was hers.
Built on her sleepless nights, her bleeding fingers, her genius. He was just the handsome face who presented it to the world.
No.
She croaked, trying to push herself up, but her muscles screamed in protest. She was a puppet with cut strings.
Oh, you will.
Julian grabbed her hand, his grip like iron. He forced the pen between her fingers, dragging its tip across the signature line. Her name became a jagged, ugly scar on the document that stole her future. Amelia leaned in close, her breath smelling of cloying perfume and victory.
I'm pregnant, Vivian.
She purred, placing a possessive hand over her flat stomach.
With Julian's heir, the heir to your billion-dollar empire.
The betrayal was a physical blow, knocking the last wisp of air from her lungs. The 2 people she loved most in the world, her husband, her sister. They were parasites who had been feeding on her life, her talent, her love, and she had let them. They dragged her from the chair. Her designer heels scraped uselessly against the marble floor as they pulled her out onto the terrace, towards the cliff's edge. The roar of the waves below was a hungry, waiting sound.
You are always a means to an end.
Julian said, his face illuminated by the dying sun. He looked like a devil in the twilight.
Your talent was the key, but you, my dear wife, have become a liability.
Amelia's eyes shone with manic glee.
Goodbye, sister. Say hello to the fishes.
With a final, brutal shove, they sent her plummeting into the abyss. The wind screamed in her ears. Time warped, stretching into an agonizing eternity. She saw her life flash before her eyes, a pathetic tragedy of misplaced trust. Then another sound cut through the wind, the screech of tires on gravel. A sleek black Maybach, impossibly expensive and brutally elegant, slammed to a halt at the edge of the cliff. The door flew open and a man emerged, a titan carved from shadow and rage. Alexander King, the most ruthless billionaire in the city, a dangerous alpha who dominated boardrooms and crushed his rivals without a flicker of mercy.
Her company's biggest competitor, the man Julian had taught her to fear and despise.
But the face he wore now was not one of a rival. It was a mask of pure, unadulterated agony. His perfectly tailored suit was rumpled, his dark hair a mess, and his eyes, those cold, piercing eyes, were wide with horror. He lunged for the edge, his hand outstretched, as if he could pluck her from the air itself. Her name ripped from his throat, a raw, desperate scream that was swallowed by the sea. In that single, horrifying moment, the truth crashed down on Vivian with more force than the impending water.
The Anonymous.
Threats before her fashion shows. The corporate sabotage that always pointed to King Enterprises but could never be proven. The whispers of Alexander's dangerous obsession with her. It wasn't hatred. It wasn't rivalry. Julian had orchestrated it all, painting Alexander as the villain to isolate her, to keep her from the one man powerful enough to see through his lies. Alexander King hadn't been trying to destroy her. He had been trying to reach her. Her last breath was a choked sob of regret.
She had hated the wrong man. She had loved her own murderers. The icy Atlantic slammed into her, a shock of brutal cold that stole the air from her lungs. Darkness consumed her vision, the weight of the ocean dragging her down into a watery grave. But as her consciousness faded, a single burning thought ignited in the ruins of her soul, a vow forged in betrayal and aimed at the heavens. If karma exists, if there is another chance, I will not be a lamb for slaughter. I will be the butcher.
Julian, Amelia, I swear on my stolen life, I will return from the depths of hell, and your perfect world will burn.